Welcome to Mitsubishi. My name is Nathan and today we're doing a walk around video on this 2014 MY15 Triton GLX-R in a manual 4x4 dual cab. So what we'll do is run through some of the condition on the exterior of the car and some of the features that does come in the GLX-R model. Now starting off on the front end, as you can see you've got that old traditional Triton look on the front with your kind of three grill nose kind of look on the front end. It does also have a split grill effect with the nice chrome plating around the front that does break up the color on the car and gives it a little bit of added detail. Now it does also come fitted with the genuine Mitsubishi bonnet protector. Obviously it is, the benefit of that is it is going to prevent any stone chips from the bonnet and possibly prevent any stones from flying up and chipping the windshield. Now on the GLX-R model you also have got the nudge bar fitted on the front. Again, it does make the car look quite nice and tough and sporty, and it's going to add that little bit of extra I guess not safety but prevention from getting the front of the car damaged if you are planning on driving it, using it for maybe for a bit of four-wheel driving. Coming over across to the driver's side of the car now, coming over to the first alloy, you've got pretty much a completely unmarked alloy and a beautiful six-spoke design. Has a really nice aluminium brushed kind of a chrome look to the rim itself, and Mitsubishi actually had a pretty nice design in there with these little indents that does add a little bit of characteristic to the rim itself. Now the tires still have plenty of tread on them and the car's pretty much set up to go off-road straight out of the dealership. So, and again, the car actually does present really nicely considering its age. The black paintwork still comes up really quite nice on this car. Now on the fender here you've got a little bit of a little vent. It's not actually functional but it does add a little detail to the side of the car and ties in quite nicely with the color match side mirrors and door handles that are in a really beautiful chrome finish, and the plate itself does have a really nice shine to it. Now you've also got your indicator lamp built into the side mirror there. Benefit of that is it does actually clear up this quarter panel but also elevates the lamp itself to provide that extra visibility when you are indicating to the other drivers on the road. Now I do apologize for a little bit of dust, but as most of you would know, the rains the past few days have been quite bad, so we have tried to do the best we can to clean most of the cars, but we do have quite a few cars on our yard. Now being a Triton does help to have the step mounted as well, so it's got it on both sides of the car. If you are vertically challenged like our floor manager, it does help climbing in and out of the car. Now opening the actual door up on the driver's side, you can see how well the car actually presents. So the seat bolsters are still in very good condition, still quite firm. There's no damage on the seats itself, and you can see how nicely the dash still presents. It's in very good condition, and the previous owners actually opted to put a dash mat on there. It is going to protect the dash from cracking and any damage and keep it nice and clean and quite tidy as well. Now on the bottom here on the carpet, still presents really well. There's no tears or damage on the carpet itself, and again, very good condition, and you've got your scuff plates here that is going to prevent a bit of damage to the paintwork here when you are climbing in and out of the car. Now on the door cut itself, where people can get a little bit lazy kicking the door open, no marks really that are quite obvious, and it does just show how well the car has been maintained by the previous owner. Closing this up, as we come across the driver's side, you can note how well the black paintwork actually presents. There's no scratches or any deep marks on this side there. I mean, no, there's just a little bit of dirt. So yeah, the color and the paintwork itself still presents really well. Now, in this black color, I do highly recommend you speak to us about our glass coat option, because it is going to add that extra protection for the car, and it's going to make this black paintwork stand out quite nicely and make it a lot easier for you to clean. Now coming over to the second alloy on the driver's side, again, a completely unmarked alloy. Very minor mark here, but it is very superficial, nothing to be too concerned about. It doesn't actually change the integrity of the rim itself, and again, beautiful design and plenty of tread remaining on those tires. Now if you come across to the tray, you've also got mud guards fitted on the back. It is going to prevent any stones from flying up and damaging any cars behind you, but as you can see, it does also have the sports bar on the back of the car. Makes it look quite nice and sporty and tough, and again ties in quite nicely to the chrome accents on the car, and is going to add that little bit of extra stability to the back end of the car. Now it does also come with a hard lid which you can lift up, and it is already fitted with the tub liner inside, and you've also got your Triton floor mats that are just sitting in the back there, preventing from getting anything dirty. So the car still presents really well, and it's just shows you how well the previous owner actually looked after the car, and he has actually taken into account all the necessary accessories when fitting out this car when he purchased it, to make sure he could use it for anything and everywhere. It does also come fitted with the genuine tow bar on the back end, and you've got a really nice clear back end with the GLX-R badging and the Mitsubishi Triton in the really nice chrome. Now as you come across to the passenger side of the car, the paintwork still continues all the way through and still presents really well. You've also got your fuel filler cap on the passenger side of the car, which is a safe side of the car, so if you do have to pull over on the side of the road in case of an emergency, you know you're going to be nice and safe from any possible oncoming traffic. Now to the third alloy, again, completely unmarked alloy, great condition on the rim itself, no marks that are apparent, and plenty of tread on these tires. And as you come across the side, again, just a little bit of dust, but the paintwork still presents really well, and it is actually quite smooth and being looked after, as I said, really well by the previous owner. Now to that fourth and final alloy, generally the one that gets damaged the most considering it is on the other side in which we park. There is a very minor superficial scratch there on the rim, but the rest of the paintwork still presents really well, and again, plenty of tread on these tires. So we've got 4 great rims, one with a slight scuffing on it, great tread on the tires, and the paintwork all around the car actually still presents really well. And as you can see, it is fitted out with a few little accessories and makes the car look really quite nice and attractive to look at. So now what we're going to do is actually pop the hood and take a look inside. Taking a look inside the engine bay of the Triton, what we have here is Mitsubishi's 4-cylinder 2.5 litre turbo diesel motor. So it's going to provide plenty of torque and power for any towing needs. Now it is fitted, as I mentioned, with a 5-speed manual gearbox. It does make it quite nice and fun to drive and gives you that extra control over the actual car. Now this car itself has a 4-star ANCAP rating with 6 airbags, so plenty of safety for all the passengers inside the car. Now this motor itself produces 131 kilowatts with 400 newton meters of torque. So as I mentioned before, plenty of torque behind the actual car if you are towing or carrying a heavy payload. Now this is a diesel motor with a 75 litre capacity, and it does have a combined fuel consumption of 8.3 litres per 100 kilometers with an average fuel distance of about 904 kilometers off the full tank, depending on how you drive and whether you are towing. Alright, now taking a look inside the Triton. Starting off on the driver's side door, do get this really nice vinyl door card. Again, being a work vehicle, it does make it quite easy to maintain, and it still has quite a nice look to the door card itself. You've also got plenty of space here on the armrest with all your power window settings on the armrest itself, with your driver's side being automatic down but just your standard power window up, and the rest are also your standard power windows. Above that you do have your window lock option, that in case people are playing around with the windows in the back seat, you can lock that up. Now on the right hand side, really nice chrome door handle, again does tie in quite nicely with all the detail around the car. On the right side of the dash itself, you've got your power mirror controls and a little button here to tuck in your mirrors, especially if you are parking on the side of the road, don't want to get that chrome finish damage. You can also adjust it just from here. You've also got your stability control button, which you can turn on and off. However, don't know why you'd turn it off, probably just leave it on in a car like this. You've also got your electric brake system here, so if you are towing something quite heavy, you've got all the systems you need for that. Now on the steering column itself, on the right hand stalk, you've got your left and right indicator, as well as your fog light controls and your standard headlight controls. And on the left hand stalk are all your wiper and washer fluids for the car. Now on the steering wheel itself, it's quite a nice leather stitched steering wheel. It does have not much wear here on the top and still presents quite well, and it's actually very comfortable soft leather to hold. Now on the right hand side of the steering wheel, you've got all your cruise control settings with your on and off and your set button, and on the left hand side are all your media controls, so your volume to flick through the different channels and your mode, so whether you are using CD, AM, FM, or whatever it might be. Below that you've got a few little triggers here that are for your Bluetooth connectivity for your mobile phone. So again, it does have Bluetooth, not for your music but just for calls. Now if you come over to the center console, as you can see, it does have that really nice dash mat on the top. Does still present really well. There's no damage to the dash mat itself, and again, it's still it's just a testament to how the previous owner has looked after the car and has actually taken into account everything. Now you've got a screen under here that does display a little bit of information. You've got your fuel economy, you've got time, bearing, and temperature, and also just how you've actually been driving the car. So you can flick through the different options for your average speed, fuel distance, temperature, etc. So if you are doing a bit of forward driving or a bit of traveling, it does help to have that little bit of information so you do know a bit more about the car. Below that, you've also got your toggles for your AC system, so your mode, your fan speed, and your temperature. You've also got your hazard button here, nice and clear in case you do get stuck in an emergency. Below that is your CD your radio system. So you've got all your radios, AM, FM, CD, and all the buttons to control that with your CD input just on the top there. You do also get an MP3 option if you wanted to. Below that is a cigarette lighter. Now it doesn't look like it's been used, which is good to know. So car doesn't actually have any weird smells or anything in it. So it still presents really well. However, we don't encourage people to smoke in the cars, but you do have that 12-volt input there if you did want to add any additional charging. You've also got a little control here, which is for the window in the back seat. So if I just get the camera person to pan to the back, I'll show you what I mean. You can open that and you can just control it manually if you wanted to, and kind of keep it halfway if you did want to allow for a bit of airflow through the car. But I think it's quite a nice feature in the Triton and does allow just for that little bit of extra breathability in the car. You've got a little bit of added storage in here. Actually, another benefit of that I thought as well, if you do have any pets, you can keep them in the back there and you can just maybe keep them, you can still talk to them. You've got a really nice leather boot with a leather stitch gear shifter. Now it is a 5-speed gear shifter, so quite nice, smooth, crispy shifts, and you do also have the reverse option just over there. Quite a nice gearbox to actually drive, and the car is quite smooth. I have moved it, so can say it does drive quite nicely. Now next to that, you've got your 4-wheel drive select with your four-wheel drive low center diff lock, and your 4 high, as well as your 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive option depending on how you want to use this car. Do also have a little bit of storage and 2 cup holders, as well as a manual handbrake, which is in quite a nice position, and it's not actually in the way like some cars can be. You've also got a really nice center console armrest. Does have a bit of storage, so 2 compartments. You've got this compartment on top here which you can store maybe your keys or your wallet, and if you lift it up, you've got a bit of additional storage in there with your auxiliary input for your radio, or you can just use that for a bit of storage, and you've also got another 12-volt input in there for a bit of charging. So what I'll do is actually get the camera person to pan around the interior of the car just to show you the condition of the seats and how the car actually presents. The roof lining is still in very good condition. The door cards still present really well. There's no major marks or damage to the seats itself. Same to the rear seats, they still present really well, and the carpet lining all around the car is actually in very good condition. So car still presents really well for its age, has been driven quite carefully and looked after quite meticulously by the previous owner. As you can see, black cars do show a lot, and the car still presents really well. So once we're done there, what we'll do is jump outside and wrap up the video. Thank you so much for watching the walk around video on this 2014 Triton GLX-R in a manual 4x4. Now I hope this video gave you a good example as to the condition of the actual car and some of the features on the inside. Now I hope it answered all your questions. However, if you do have any additional questions, feel free to call us on 9907055. Now if you did want to secure it before you came in, you can do that. You can just dial through the same number. Now just before you go, this car does qualify for our premium mechanical protection plan. Now what that offers is 5 years additional protection on 181 electrical and mechanical components of this car. And it does also come with the added benefit of 10 years platinum roadside assistance. So if you do plan on keeping this car for a long time, or traveling, doing a bit of forward driving, it's going to give the assurance and the security that if you do get stuck in a sticky situation, someone's going to be there to look out for you. Now, as I mentioned before, I do highly recommend you take advantage of the glass coat, which is going to give you a lifetime warranty on this black paintwork, and it is going to make it a lot easier for you to actually maintain the car and preserve the paintwork. Now these are at an additional cost. However, if you are using our in-house finance, I'd love to introduce you to our business managers, Julie and Mario, who show just how minimal these will affect your repayments. And lastly, but most importantly, please check out our Google reviews. With over 1,000 reviews and sitting at 4.8 stars, gives you the assurance that you are dealing with the right people and the right kind of business for a good quality vehicle. Now, as I mentioned before, if you did have any additional questions, the number to dial is 9907055. My name is Nathan, and thank you so much for watching.